Good morning, students. Now, we're going to start with our next chapter of Geography, class 10th, that is Mineral and Energy Resources. Now, let us first understand what are minerals and why do we need minerals. We use different things in our daily life made from metal. Where do these metals come from? You have studied that the earth crust is made up of different minerals embedded in the rocks. Various metals are extracted from these minerals after proper refinement. Actually, we can say that minerals are an indispensable part of our lives. Almost everything we use, from a tiny pin to a towering building, come from minerals. Various metals are also extracted out of these minerals. The railway lines and the tarmac, that is paving on the roads, or implements and machineries too, are made from minerals. Cars, buses, trains, aeroplanes are manufactured from minerals and run on power resources derived from the earth. Even the food that we eat contain minerals. In all stages of human development, human beings have used minerals for the livelihood, decoration, festivities, religious and ceremonial rites. You can say that even 0.3% of the total nutrients we consume constitute minerals in our body, which means that even minerals are essential for human body. Let's take an example of a toothpaste. Toothpaste includes aluminum oxide, limestone, silica, and various phosphates. What are these? These all are minerals. Now, coming to a major, what are minerals? Actually, we can define, or the geologist has defined minerals as homogeneous, naturally occurring substance with a definable internal structure. Okay, it means a homogeneous, naturally occurring substance with a definable internal structure. Okay, now where are they found? They are found in various forms in nature. Actually, we can say that, or we can come to the next topic including here occurrence of minerals. All the minerals are actually obtained from ores. All the minerals are actually obtained from ores. These ores come from the rocks. In the previous classes, we've already discussed the various types of rocks. Then too, we'll have a short explanation on the same. The various rocks are igneous, metamorphic, and sedimentary rocks. Now, the minerals found by each of these rocks differ from each other in their properties. Range of minerals can vary in terms of hardness. It can be as hard as a diamond and as soft as a talcum powder. I'll tell you a fact that the measurement of hardness can be done on a scale, and that scale is known as MOHS, Mohs scale. That is known as Mohs scale. Now, they are found, already discussed, they are found in varied forms in rocks. In the nature, rocks are what? They are combination of minerals again. A particular mineral that forms from a certain combination of elements depend upon the physical and chemical conditions under which the minerals are formed. Because of this, different minerals have different features like different color, hardness, crystal forms, luster and density. Moving on to the types of rocks, the minerals are generally found in igneous and metamorphic rocks. They occur in the cracks or veins. Okay, minerals are found generally in igneous and metamorphic rocks, and they occur in the cracks, crevices, faults or joints or the veins. If they are smaller, they are known as veins, and if they are larger, they are called lodes. Okay, the minerals found in the igneous and metamorphic rock occur in the cracks or the joints. The smaller cracks or the crevices are known as veins, and the larger are known as lodes. Okay, in sedimentary rocks, minerals occur as beds or layers. In sedimentary rocks, they occur in beds or layers. You can say that sedimentary rocks are arranged in layers and are found near the water bodies. In layers means this way, see, one under the other. Now, so you have alluvial soil deposit there. Example of it is a placer deposit. Okay, example of it is a placer deposit, which mainly includes the minerals like, you can say precious minerals like gold, tin, silver, platinum. Such minerals are found mainly in the placer deposits. Okay, there are some minerals that occur beneath the ocean as well, you can say. Okay, beneath the ocean as well. So you have example of it is salt, manganese, bromine, which occur beneath the ocean water. Another mode of formation is when only mass of weathered material contain ores remain. Weathered, you know? Weathering of minerals? Yes. So some minerals occur as alluvial deposits in sands and valleys of floors and hill bases. Fine. So even then you have coal mining as well. Coal mining is generally a unique component of minerals because coal is buried by the dead decaying metals under high pressure. Okay, coal mining is a unique component of minerals because coal is buried by the dead and decaying metals under high pressure. So there is a kind of coal deposit seen in the ancient times. Okay, if this coal mining is done through a narrow tunnel, it is known as rat hole mining. Okay, if the coal mining is done through a narrow tunnel, it is known as rat hole mining, which is generally seen in Cherrapunji and even in Jowai. Okay, so you have numerous sedimentary rock deposits seen in Assam and Gujarat, and these generally sedimentary rock deposits are known for the petroleum reserves they have. I hope the occurrence of minerals or the metals are clear to you people. Go to the next slide, that is classification of minerals. Classification of minerals. Minerals are generally categorized into three categories, that is metallic, non-metallic and energy minerals. Metallic, non-metallic and energy minerals. Metallic minerals include ferrous, non-ferrous and even precious into it. Okay, precious that we have studied in the placer deposit if you remember. Okay, so ferrous, non-ferrous and precious. Okay, now what are metallics? Okay, what are ferrous here? Ferrous includes, metallic includes ferrous, non-ferrous and precious. Fine. Now what are ferrous actually? Ferrous are those minerals which include iron content into it, which includes iron content into it. Okay, examples of it can be iron, manganese, nickel. Okay, and they have some kind of magnetic properties associated with them. They have some kind of magnetic properties associated with them. Non-ferrous include copper, lead and tin, and they do not have any iron content into it. Okay, going to the precious, examples already given to you: gold, silver and platinum. Fine. Now going to the energy resources. Energy minerals are actually divided into two categories, that is conventional and non-conventional. Fine. Conventional includes coal, petroleum, natural gas into it. Now going to the ferrous minerals in detail. Fine. In ferrous minerals, we will discuss majorly two minerals here, that is iron ore and manganese. Iron ore and manganese. Fine. So, ferrous minerals account for about 3/4 of the total value of production of metallic minerals. Okay, and they are a strong base for the development of metallurgical industry. Fine. So, when you move here, India exports substantial quantity of ferrous minerals after meeting its internal demand. That means we are rich in terms of ferrous minerals. Fine, that is manganese and iron ore. Fine. Now, iron ore. Moving towards the major one, the iron ore. Actually, iron ore is a basic mineral and the backbone of the industrial development. India is endowed with fairly abundant resources of rich iron ore. India is rich in good quality of iron ore. Okay, India is rich in the good quality of iron ore. Now coming to the two categories here, magnetite and hematite. Okay, now magnetite is the finest iron ore. Magnetite is the finest iron ore with a very high content of iron into it. That is up to 70%. That is up to 70%. It has excellent magnetic qualities. It has excellent magnetic qualities and especially valuable in the electrical industry. Okay, magnetite is clear to you. It can come in a one word. Okay, which are two different types of iron ores, that is magnetite and hematite. Okay, how much content of iron is in the magnetite? 70%. Fine. And where, in which type of industry is it used? So we can say that it is especially valuable in the electrical industry. Fine. Coming to the next one, that is hematite. Hematite ore is the most important industrial iron ore in terms of quantity used, but has slightly lower iron content than the magnetite. It has nearly 50 to 60% of iron content into it. Okay, now are we aware of that Kudra in Kannada means horse? Kudra in Kannada language means horse. The highest peak of the Western Ghats of Karnataka resembles the face of a horse. Okay, this is a fact and you should be aware of it, that Kudra in Kannada language means horse, and the highest peak in the Western Ghats of Karnataka resembles the face of a horse, and the Bela Dila hills look like the hump of the ox, and hence its name is given on the name of the ox. Bela Dila. Bela means ox and Dila means hill. Okay, so Bela Dila. Coming to the next one. It's a very important, and generally this question comes as a 3 or 5 mark question. Okay. Now what are the major iron ore belts in India? So don't get scared seeing these names as they are new to you. Reading them 5 to 6 times again and again, revising them, you will be able to remember them easily. Okay. Now coming to the topic, major iron ore belts in India. See, the first one we have Orissa Jharkhand belt. First we'll go with the names. Orissa Jharkhand belt. Then we have Durg Bastar Chandrapur belt. Durg Bastar Chandrapur belt. Then we have Bellary, Chitradurg, Chikmagaluru, Tumkuru belt. Bellary, Chitradurg, Chikmagaluru, Tumkuru belt. And the last fourth one is Maharashtra, Goa belt. Again I'll revise it. Orissa, Jharkhand belt. Durg, Bastar, Chandrapur belt. Bellary, Chitradurg, Chikmagaluru, Tumkuru belt. And Maharashtra, Goa belt. Fine. Okay. So these are the 4 different iron ore belts of India. Now going towards the Orissa Jharkhand belt. Orissa Jharkhand belt has the high grade of hematite ore. Okay, it has the high grade of hematite ore and is found in Badamfar mines in the Mayurbhanj and Kendujhar districts. Okay, again I'll go. In Odisha, high grade hematite ore is found in Badamfar mines in Mayurbhanj and Kendujhar districts. In the adjoining Singhbhum district of Jharkhand, hematite iron ore is mined in Goa and now Mundi. Okay, Orissa Jharkhand belt has the high grade of hematite ore found in Badamfar mines in the Mayurbhanj and Kendujhar districts. In the adjoining Singhbhum district of Jharkhand, hematite iron ore is mined in Goa and now Mundi. Okay. Next we go with Durg, Bastar, Chandrapur belt. Okay, it lies in Chhattisgarh and Maharashtra. Durg, Bastar, Chandrapur belt lies in Chhattisgarh and Maharashtra. Iron ore from these mines are exported to Japan and South Korea via Visakhapatnam port. Okay, so that means this Durg, Bastar, Chandrapur belt lies in Chhattisgarh and Maharashtra, and from where do we export it to China and South Korea? Via Visakhapatnam port. Okay, and here also very high grade hematites are found in the Beladila district of hills of Bastar district in Chhattisgarh. I already discussed with you in the fact, hai na? So it is found here in the Beladila range of hills in the Bastar district of Chhattisgarh. This range of hills comprise of 14 deposits. 14 deposits of super high grade hematite iron ore. Okay, so it is quite rich in hematite iron ore. Moving to the next one, that is Bellary, Chitradurg, Chikmagaluru, Tumkuru belt. Bellary, Chitradurg, Chikmagaluru, Tumkuru belt. It is in Karnataka. Where is it? In Karnataka, and has high reserve of iron ore. Okay, and the ore is transported as slurry through pipelines and ports near Mangaluru. Now what is slurry? Slurry is when the ore is transported in a semi-liquid state. Okay, we call it as a slurry. So we transport it via pipelines. Okay, and in a port near Mangalore. Okay, that is. I hope you are clear with this. The last one goes with Maharashtra Goa belt. Maharashtra Goa belt includes the state of Goa and Ratnagiri district of Maharashtra. Okay, includes the state of Goa and the Ratnagiri district of Maharashtra. Though the ores are not of very high quality, yet they are efficiently exported. Iron ore is exported through Marmagaon port here. Okay, it's exported through Marmagaon port here. Okay, dear, please do remember this answer. It's an important one and can come for 3 or 5 marks question. Fine. To move to the next slide here. Now state-wise production of iron ore we come here. State-wise production of iron ore. So we are aware that the various states that are rich with iron ore deposits are Orissa, Chhattisgarh, Goa, Jharkhand and Karnataka. Okay, so starting with Orissa, we have the maximum and also the around same quantity in Karnataka as well. Then we have Chhattisgarh, Goa and Jharkhand, and very less part is left with the other regions of the country. Okay, so please remember it. The various iron ore production states are Orissa, Chhattisgarh, Goa, Jharkhand and Karnataka. Fine. Chalo. Move to the next one. Here comes our next ferrous mineral, that is manganese. Manganese. Manganese actually is mainly used in the manufacturing of steel. Okay, steel and ferromanganese alloy. Used in the manufacturing of steel and ferromanganese alloy. Nearly 10 kg of manganese is required to manufacture 1 ton of steel. Remember, it's important. Nearly 10 kg of manganese is required to manufacture 1 ton of steel. It is used only in manufacturing. Okay, it is also used in manufacturing bleaching powder, insecticides and paints. It is used in manufacturing of insecticides, bleaching powder and paints. Fine. Orissa is the largest producer of manganese ore in India. Orissa is the largest producer of manganese ore in India. Accounts nearly 1/3 of the country's total production. 1/3 of the country's total production. This is as according to the data of 2000-2001. Okay, 2000 and 2001. Now, the various areas where we can find manganese is again Orissa with the highest, Madhya Pradesh, then we have Karnataka and other regions of the country. Fine. I hope you are clear with these points. In this topic we have discussed, in this video we have discussed as what minerals are. Fine. Mode of occurrence of minerals. Then we have, after occurrence of minerals, we have the various types of minerals, and then we have in that we discussed ferrous minerals in detail, including iron ore and manganese. Fine. All the best. Take care. Thank you.